All right, let's just do it.
Live, everyone. Live from the Syndicate Crown. There's going to be some noise in the background as they're changing the rig for the event tomorrow. So please bear with us. Let's talk about the events of the day. Let's talk about team first to kind of get that out of the way. It was a Mayhem show. There were some big lifts that were not done by Mayhem. Blue City hit a 305. A snatch, right?
Yep.
Man, the day blurs. 305 snatch. And on the women's side, there was a 210-pound snatch. I think it was a 15-pound PR for the person. From Echo Box, Ike Box, Echo Box, something like that.
We took really good notes, as you can see.
What's
CrossFit
that?
Everknocks?
That's it.
Okay. Or there's also a CrossFit Hard Knocks. So
it's the Everknocks.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a big crew here cheering them on. I was really surprised at some of the weights that the ladies on the teams were putting up. Some strong girls.
And the way the workout worked was you went through a ladder, and then if you made it, you got to pick one of your teammates to jump to whatever they wanted to jump to. And I think a lot of them were conservative in the later rounds.
Did you see Andrea Nisler and Taylor Williamson did rock, paper, scissors to see who was going to do the final lift?
I did.
That was pretty. And Rich sort of bowed to Sam and let Sam Cornwallier do the final lift for their team too, which is really cool. Gave him sort of a nice moment at a semi.
Yeah, I think this year's going to be great for Sam, getting to just go through the paces with Rich and be able to train extra hard on his weaknesses. But yeah. Doing it on the right is awesome. Then we had
let's talk about the second team event, the 4-person wall ball craziness. I don't think Mayhem got no rep once, and I'm pretty sure every other team got no rep probably 1,000 times.
And what was crazy is it was done in waves. Like you had a window to get the wall balls done and the worm shoulder to overheads. And
well, it was like a buy-in. It was a wall ball.
Right. And if you ever didn't get through that, you were eliminated from that event.
Mm-hmm. It was cool to watch. Lots of lunges. I had a little PTSD from when I was did a team competition back in November with a worm, the first time on a worm, and I'm still paying for it now, I think.
I'm on here. Yeah. Jump in, man. I got Tommy Marquez here.
Whoa. Hey, buddy.
Good. We're just recapping the day. Any big impressions from you?
Inside, put money down on anyone that could pick a perfect top 5 after day 1. I don't think anyone would have won money. I don't think anyone on the planet had the top 5, which is awesome because new names showing up.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Good seeing you, man.
Good job with you.
Special guest appearance.
Yeah, between both the 10-pound target or 10-foot target and the 20-pound wall balls, it's a struggle just in that in its own. Never mind the fact that it was 4 people synchro, and at least personally, I would have found the transparent plexiglass target with the wall ball coming at it also disconcerting. But I had trouble catching my own wall ball the best of days.
Teams that had to break them up in any way really struggled because you weren't breaking at the same time, and then you were getting a no rep, and people were doing extra work, and then they were trying to get back to synchronization, and it just ate up a big chunk of time for that buy-in. It definitely was sort of the Achilles heel of that workout for a lot of teams.
So just the buy-in for everybody was 20 wall balls, 15 worm deadlifts, and 20 worm push presses in a 3-3-3-3 interval.
And then they had to lunge, basically. They had to get down and back, down and back. It was a good workout. I liked it. It was fun to watch. But man, those wall balls look tough.
Yeah.
So what are the final stand? Do we have final standings, Dave, for the team for day one?
Yeah, just
Teams.
load it up here.
I mean, no
Mayhem
surprise. We know who's in first
Freedom
place.
is in
right?
first. Yeah. Sorry. So Mayhem Freedom, first place, 200 points. Training Think Tank, I believe, is second, or TTT CrossFit, 175 points. CrossFit Nashville, 160. CrossFit Overtake Team Destiny is in fourth with 150 points, and in fifth place, Blue City CrossFit Gold with 145 points.
Very cool.
Clydesdale
Hey.
Media's own Taylor
Our
Stroud.
partners.
And then I guess a couple spots down in seventh is CrossFit Mayhem Justice. So it was second Mayhem team there. So again,
Yeah, they did really well in the strength event, and then they were one of the teams that really could not get the wall ball synchronization. They have one female teammate who's on the shorter side, and it made for a mess. That was a tough one for them.
yeah, there's definitely a big range. So like Mayhem Freedom, for example, did 40 reps of the lunges, obviously finishing first. But then to ninth, they got 9 reps for Mayhem Justice. So,
Yeah, they were on the wall ball section for a very long time, for a couple of times. So tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's moving day.
Training Think Tank and Blue City were both in the first heat to start the day, and they're leading in the top 5. That's pretty impressive. Cool. So let's move to event 1 for the individuals.
That complex, man. I mean, you see, it's one thing to see it on paper and you sort of go, oh yeah, that's a lot of squatting. But when you see it in person, dear Lord, it's a lot of squatting. It's like, I would just want to do it once. There's no way I want to do it 3 times on the platform. Brutal.
Unless you're one of those monsters that can power clean.
Yeah. If you can power clean, you're good to go. But if you're squat cleaning that, 5 heavy front squats into that jerk was just brutal.
Yeah, you probably didn't hear. They interviewed Christine Kohlenbrander after her event because pretty sure she did power for the first 2 rounds, but then third she's like, well, I did power for the first one, then I needed to squat, and she's like, it got ridiculously harder at that point. So
yeah, I think she still looked like she barely was taxed.
She said that was the event record. So that's the best lift of the first week semifinals in that complex.
Torian Pro hasn't gone yet, so Tia hasn't gone yet. So we're still sort of wondering.
They put it later in the event.
Yeah, they put it. It's tomorrow, early
both
morning
lowlands
tonight. So
they're both tomorrow. So
yeah, so we don't know yet. Now Tia's got something to shoot for.
There you go.
Should be interesting.
And on the men's side, Tudor Magda and Griffin Rowley tied for first with a 345-pound complex.
Except Tudor
I'm not sure I could deadlift that today.
Yeah, Tudor was not bouncing his bar on his cleans, though. Raleigh was bouncing a lot.
A little. Yeah.
A little.
I ran into James Townsend outside, and I said, well, I know who coaches Tudor.
Yeah. Oh, his form's great.
Yeah. Tudor's the only one that could compete with James in the lifts anyway.
Yeah. It would have been interesting if Roldan Goldboom was in the final heat to see, because he failed 350, I believe, in his heat. So if he had saw those other guys put 345 on, it just had a 3-way tie up there at first.
Yeah, he failed it pretty early, though. He did. I don't even think he got to the jerk.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, he dropped it. That was hard too when you're like, if you've got the hook grip and you're trying to, re-hook on the way down with such a heavy barbell, that's like not the easiest thing to do. And some people just lost it when they were trying to re-grip, not because, the weight was too hard. It was more like a technical error. And, once you stop that complex too long, you can't restart it in that time frame. So that was rough.
So then we move to the Oregon Trail. That was
The bike,
increasing
torque
echo
tank.
bike calories. And an assortment of dumbbell moves.
Yeah, with dumbbell deadlifts, and then dumbbell hang snatches, and then devil's press. So you do the echo bike, you take the torque tank out, you do your dumbbell work, you bring the torque tank back, you do the bike again, you do the torque tank up, you do your dumbbells back and forth. So 3 echo bikes, a shit ton of torque tank pushes, and then that dumbbell work. And I don't think anyone finished it until for the females, they didn't finish it until the 3rd heat, right? I don't think anyone.
Gabby McClellan finished it in the first heat.
In heat 1, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
And then no one finished it in heat 2. And then a few people finished it in heat 3. And I'm guessing she got first place in that.
Haley Adams got first place. Emily White
she
got
did.
second. And then Gabby took 3rd.
Got it. Okay. That was impressive. Well, and for
Very
Haley,
impressive.
she had to, right? I mean, we knew that weightlifting event was going to be damage control for her. So she pretty much has to send it the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, well, I guess I was looking at the scoreboard, at least for Haley Adams' perspective, like she did, finished 23rd in the event, but those other top 3 women, so Raptis, Lowen, and O'Connell, O'Connell is the highest at 12, so it's not like she was chasing Kara Saunders or somebody who won the event. Like both of them, there's only like a 40 or 50 point difference between the two, so I think it's less room or for Haley Adams to make up this year than in past years in these types of events.
Yeah, and if you think about it, in all reality, she struggled with 1 clean at 185 at the games, and she went touch and go 200 tonight.
Yeah, she played it conservative too. It's almost as if she lacks the confidence in herself to be able to do more. I mean, her form is not the prettiest, but I think she went conservative on that lift. I feel like she could have like tied for a higher placement if she had gone 205. I think.
Yeah, 205 would have bumped her up 4 spots.
Yeah. And that's where coaching comes in, right? And someone needs to be, paying attention to that kind of stuff instead of, just making sure that she's comfortable. I think she needs to take some risks when it comes to the things that she's not the best at.
So then the men's side. Wait, before we leave the first event, I do have to say, our boy Dex. Best dance, best celebration.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is last year he was coaching James Sprague and Dallin Pepper. And this year he's out on the floor with him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Don't lean back, Scott, and talk. We can't hear you. Lean in.
I wasn't talking. I have a Charlie horse, by the way. That's why I'm leaning back.
Okay. Oh, I love it. All right. So, we were talking about event 2. We did talk about event 2. On the men's side, I was busy chatting in the VIP section during the last heat of the men's event, so you'll have to recap for me what happened. I think Jason Hopper won the heat.
Yes, Hopper won the heat.
He did.
Scott sounds like he's in a wind tunnel.
Oh my gosh. James Sprague won the event.
This is riveting live television.
Yeah, it is.
Live
Will
video.
Scott get the Charlie horse out before the end of the broadcast?
All right, so James Sprague won the event. He was in the first heat, second heat.
Yeah, and it was his 20th birthday today.
Yep.
He also
they made a big deal
needed
about
to
that.
send it after the lift.
Yes. He's also one of those athletes that needs to get moving.
And then Jason Hopper won the final heat and ended up taking second. I think.
Yeah, and no surprise, these events really favor him. He's just a workhorse, and this is just head down, do the work. move through it.
And I think if Jason could have kept his torque tank straight, he would have won the event. James Sprague never had to correct his torque tank, and Jason had to correct his on every single lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been the 7
Is that
second
something that the
difference.
athletes are doing? Or is that just the way the torque tank is initially set up? I wonder. Because
I
that
think
kind of
it's
sucks.
how much pressure they put on each side.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What are we looking forward to most tomorrow in terms of events? Do we even know what the events are? I don't.
Well, first let's see who the overall leaders are.
Oh, we didn't talk about that yet. Sorry.
Yeah.
So overall leaders, men's side, Justin Daros, 176 points. Jason Hopper, 172 points. Cole Grayshaber, 168. Scott Panchik, 164 points in fourth. Griffin Rowley, 146 points in fifth. So
Does Scott Panchik's name have an R in parentheses for
Yeah.
retired?
Unreal. So that's a pretty
No?
close race points wise. They're pretty close in points. It's like a 20-point spread between first and fifth or first and fourth.
First and fourth. So yeah, 12 points separating. So each of those guys are separated by 4 points. So 176 down to 164. And then
Really close.
they made a bit of a spread. 18 points from Scott Panchik down to Griffin Rowley.
It's
On
amazing.
the female side, as Tommy Marquez pointed out, is crazy. But
Yeah,
what's
run down that
cool
one for
is-
us, Steve.
What's cool is you can check out these people that you may not have known before coming in, but we interviewed them this week.
Yeah.
So first place, 184 points is Gabby McCulland. Second place, 180 points, Emily White. Third place, 160 points, Christine Kohlenbrander. Fourth place, 156 point is Olivia Sulik. And then tied for fifth at 144 is Alexis Raptis and Paige Semenza.
Okay. So not as tight of a race, but just 4 points separating first and second.
Yes, that's correct. Then there is a big gap down to third. And that group is
Yeah.
pretty tight.
Very cool.
What a crazy first day.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, looking at it, event 3 for the individuals is the regional event, so
Oh,
the
the
rope
rope climb.
climbs,
Sweet.
and then event 4 is the MAC mile, which is 4 rounds for time of a 400-meter true form run, 30 wall ball shots at 20 and 14 pounds, 20 chest to bar push-ups, an 80-foot
Pull-ups?
tank push. Is that right?
No, that sounds
That's
like a
MAC,
MAC event. Yeah, that's okay.
That's why it was called
I was like, wait,
MAC Madness.
We don't have runners
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Think it through.
Sorry. Okay, so event 3 is still the rope climbs.
Okay,
Event 4 is skiing with Karen. So
Okay.
4 time,
So
10, 20, 30, 40, 50 reps of concept 2 ski erg calories, wall ball shots with 20 and 14 pounds to a 10-foot target, GHD sit-ups, and it looks like a 80-foot handstand walk at the end of it. So a long one to close out the day.
solid.
And
And we end
Yeah.
early tomorrow, right? It's like we start early around 8 o'clock and then we're finished by 4 or 5.
I believe so.
well, at least the individuals are done by like noon. Or sorry,
Oh, wow.
I guess 2 Eastern, I should say.
Okay. That'll be great. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be a quick turnaround for them to be getting off the floor now and then back.
So really the big storylines are on the men's side, it's pretty chalkish. Women's side is nowhere near chalkish.
What does that mean, chalkish? I'm not familiar with that term.
That basically the top seeds are in the top positions on the men's side.
Oh, okay.
And on the women's side, it's not.
Got it.
And some of the favorites coming in have a lot of ground to make up in the next 2 days. But I think Dave was telling us before we went live, the point difference from Christy O'Connell in 19th place to Haley in 11th was only like 24 points.
Yeah, so O'Connell's sitting in 19th, 96 points. Haley Adam is 11th with 122 points. So would that be 26 points between them? Ariel Lowen is 10th with 123. So again, and then Raptis and Semenza are in the last qualifying spot there with 144 points. So it's going to be tight. I think depending on these events tomorrow, there could be a lot of shuffling on this leaderboard.
Yeah. And the cool thing is hopefully we see some people going to the games that haven't gone to the games before, because that's just always exciting. As much as we love, our favorites and our veterans and the ones that always return, I think it's really cool to see, these younger athletes or these newer athletes coming into their own. It's cool to watch. And
we had to know stuff like this was going to happen coming out of COVID, when these young athletes, we didn't see them for 2 years.
Right.
And now it appears that they're just popping on the scene, but they've been training for 2 years and we just never saw them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, even some of that before that with sanctionals, like it's when you're 18, it's difficult to afford plane tickets.
You're not going to Dubai.
Yeah.
Right.
Any impressions from you, Dave?
Yeah, I was really impressed with Tudor Magda in the strength portion. I don't know. I don't know him very well, so to see him lift that much as how young he is was pretty impressive. And then Haley Adams as well stood up for me, just to have that come back again. Event 2 is in her wheelhouse as well, so it was good to see that, and I'm just looking forward to some fun competitions tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been a fun day 1.
It has.
We'll be back for day 2.
Sounds good.
See you guys all tomorrow evening.
All righty.
All right.
Good
This
night.
has been the Clydesdale Media Brig Report. Signing off from the Syndicate Crown.